Hey everybody, my name is jmartin. Thanks for watching this video. It's a 2v2 game. Nice uniform. I've seen better hats though. Anyway, what's going on is this is a 2v2 game and I've been on vacation. I've been out of town for about a week, and so I haven't been able to play any Napoleon or put any videos up, and I just got home today and I loaded up a game, or actually I loaded up the game, and Ruse popped on. He was like, "Man, we haven't played, dude. We gotta play." And I was like, right on, man. Ruse and I play together a lot. Ruse is like my go-to partner these days. We're always online at the same time. He's in Huntsman. He's in the same clan I am. And at the beginning of the game, Ruse moves his cav up kind of aggro because this guy got his general out of position at the beginning is what Ruse is going after right there. So Ruse, stops the cav there. But that's what's going on. The cast characters in this game, I'm on the right side. My name is jmartin. I'm playing as GB. On the left side is Ruse. He's playing as Denmark. Opposite me, playing as Prussia, is China Lake. And on the left side is Reign of Death. Nice name, Reign. Reign of Death. Very aggro. Reign of Death is like a 2-star player, so thanks for getting in there and playing the game with us. China Lake here was, I think, a 5, 6-star player, something like that. Anyway, so what Reign of Death has got, and I mentioned this earlier in my video on light infantry tactics, but I want to take a minute to talk about it. If you really want to, and the rules for this game were the standard rules: no artillery and 5 light infantry. And what you find people who want, when they really want to win the light infantry fight, what they do is a pretty good tactic is you bring 4 regular lights and then 1 rifle unit. See that rifle unit right there? That unit has a much longer range. So what Reign here is going to try to do is force me to run up. That'll give him the first shot in the light-on-light fight. Now that's great if you're into the light-on-light fight kind of thing. And this game that I just played really kind of made me form an opinion about this issue. I'll talk about it a bit more later. But that's what we're doing. We're starting the engagement on my side. Reign is kind of hugging the red line over there. All his cav is located on one flank, and he also has foot guards in that one flank. So that's kind of interesting to keep in mind. You might think that if Reign was going to attack, which they don't, but they might attack where their foot guards and other cav is. And I have the really balanced GB build. I have just 10 regular line, 5 lights, and then 4 light dragoons. So I have the kind of balanced GB build, which I really like, and which I know a lot of other players really like. Who was it? Hannibal Bonaparte and I were talking a while ago, or who was it, man? Maybe it was Strategist, but we were talking about this build, and we were just like, this is the perfect build for Napoleon. It's totally, everything's equal. You don't have a strong flank, you don't have a weak flank, but you're strong everywhere. So I really like this build. You can see his 125 unit is already shooting at my lights, but what I don't understand is he starts to move the rest of his lights in to get me first shot at him. Not the best use of your lights right there, but I mean, I guess he does catch me because I'm still maneuvering. I think I am going to get the first shot here. Yeah, there we go. But I think the use of his lights there was a little suspect. Let me jam you back over to Ruse's end. This game is actually kind of interesting because Ruse's opponent, Reign of Death, brought all rifles, and Ruse is Denmark, so he has all rifles. I believe the Danish rifles are a bit better than the German, or excuse me, the GB, but not by much. This guy has kind of got a noob problem. He only has 2 cav units. People, cav is really valuable. You got to be able to use your cav. If you don't bring any cav, then a better player is going to fuck you up. And Ruse is a really good player, and if you give Ruse the opportunity, he's going to fuck you up with cav. So you got to get used to using cav. Everybody, cav is really powerful. You got to get used to using cav. Okay, so Reign of Death here was kind of a newbie. That's cool. Love playing with newbies, but a big lesson of the newbies is you got to get comfortable with cav. You got to be able to use them effectively. That's it. I mean, and I know that when both players spawned here, Ruse saw that just these 2 cav units, and he just started drooling because he knew that he was going to just be able to do some really, really unfriendly things to a Reign of Death here. So you got to be able to use your cav. Speaking about using cav on my flank, my opponent has all his cav bunched up in the back there. I'm pushing up hard on his left, but he keeps kiting back towards the red line. Not really kiting, but just retreating. In the middle, he had a cav charge, which got into some of my lights, which caused me a bit of a problem. On the right side, here comes a cav charge. I get a full volley on it, and then I form square. That was actually really good micro for me. I don't usually do that. I also have a second line of infantry. This cav is going to be having problems. Sorry, wrong zoom there. And then he sends another cav charge, tries to send it way over at my lights. Now, my opponent is going to route my foot unit there. He does have 2 foot guards shooting at my unit, so I'm a bit disorganized on the right flank here. But I have a few good things going for me. I'm going to be able to route his cav unit and then reform my line, and then I'll have a light unit that I can use to take a range advantage on those foot guards. Now on the left, what has happened is he missed a square there, and actually he missed 2 squares. So I got my cav engaged on the left, and I'm able to push my infantry up in it. Now I'm also able, from the aftermath of that, so I route 2 line units on the left, and then I'm able to push 2 of my cav units into his rear. And I have a pretty strong position at this point, if you notice that I've got him enveloped, and I'm going to be able to put a ton of firepower on his right, or my left flank here. He does still have a few things going for him. He's got foot guards on the right, which do out-quality me a bit, and he does have a light infantry advantage in the center here. Now, I send a cav charge. That turns out terribly because my unit is walking instead of running. This fucking game, man. If only the units would do what you fucking tell them. You know what I mean? Like, if that unit could have ran, I might have got there before he got in the square. But anyway, what happens is I'm able to run my 2 line units up and then get shots at him. And I have a cav unit active in the rear of him, and this really breaks the game open for me. I got that unit into the rear of his square. I think I have another cav unit that I'm going to get into action now. So on my left, I had 2 cav units that happened. Now, I actually do something kind of smart, which is rare for me. He has 2 units. Those 2 line units come back from routing, but he doesn't really pay as much attention to them as he should. So a really good thing to do with your cav is to send them after units that are routing to ensure that they don't come back from routing, or to send them after units that have just come back, because your opponent probably isn't going to micro quick enough on them. And I'm able to send this 1 cav unit with 0 casualties there to route his 2 units that came back from routing. Now, my opponent starts to kite like a motherfucker. I mean, the red line is here. He's running back to the red line. And I really gotta say, in my opinion, this fucking tactic is getting over fucking played. Everybody I play fucking kites. It's fucking annoying. And what the fuck? It's really frustrating. And I want to make a statement here. A while ago, Tyler the Great made a really good post on the TW Center forums, and he said, you know what? Against kiters, I kind of just say, you know what? I can kite too. And then I just sit there. And I agree with him so fucking much. Like, you know what, fucker? China Lake, I can kite too. I could kite too if I wanted. Just fucking stop it. Just get in there and fucking attack people. Like, fucking engage people. This retreat to the red line like this, it seems like every game I play, I fucking see this bullshit kiting shit. And yes, it's a strong tactic because it gives you an advantage. Here's a look at Ruse. But it is so fucking pussy. Just fucking stop it. Just fucking attack someone. You know what I mean? Like, I totally agree with Tyler. Like, Tyler's argument was pretty much like, I refuse to engage kiters. I just tell them, hey, guess what, dickhead? I can do the same thing you're doing. And if you continue to do that, I'm going to sit here. And I totally agree with him. It's so annoying. But what the problem my opponent has is that I've killed all his cav. I have a cav unit left that I'm able to break into his rear. And you know, he's still got foot guards on the flank there. But I'm able to push my infantry up and able to envelop him. Over on Ruse's end, let's zoom back to that real quick. Ruse has again got an envelopment going. Ruse does wind up winning the light infantry engagement. His opponent gets a little caught off guard. You see this detachment? His opponent got split in 2. You see this big gap here? And over on the left, Ruse's opponent had a bunch of units kind of out on their own, and so Ruse was kind of able to surround them and defeat them in detail. This guy made a good effort. He tried to charge his general in there to do a last-ditch effort, which is a good idea. But Ruse just kind of had better tactical movement. In this game, he routed his opponent's center and then maneuvered to split his opponents into two groups. So that was a nice work by Ruse, and this guy Rain of Death here just kind of goes melee at the end. Not the best way to go melee, but at the same time, the dude had a losing game going, so I kind of understand what he was getting at. Hold on. Let me zoom back over to my end of the battle. So my opponent is completely boxed up pretty much, doing his kiting thing. He has all his lights bunched up here. I'm actually willing to engage him on that. But see this cav unit I have in the rear of him? This is really going to break the game open for me. And what I'm able to do is this cav unit, I get a ton of value from this cav unit. I charged after his general. And in the course of that, I'm going to disrupt a whole bunch of his units. Right here. So while I'm chasing this general, my cav unit is engaged with these two units here, so they aren't shooting. My cav unit is, he has to go back in a square, which means I'm going to really get shots at them. And this cav unit, it just does a fantastic job. It lives a really, really long time. And none of these units right here are shooting while my cav unit's engaged. It actually routes that line unit there, but it lets me get my units up to shoot at him. And the value that I got out of this cav unit was completely extreme, because it kind of paralyzed the center of his line, and while his line was paralyzed, I got to move my line units up. And GB line units are better than Prussian line units, and so the value that really mattered when I get to route the center of that unit there, then that means I get to push units on the flank there. And that cav unit is still going. It's still fucking up that foot guard unit, which is down to 28, and then eventually I get it in. And I think, yeah, my cav unit routes, but right about the time that it kills his general, so that was really good timing from my cav unit. So sort of my holistic strategy on this game was, when you play a big kiter, is that essentially I used my cav better than he did. That's the bottom line. Like, I got to use my cav unit to route a couple line units on his left, and I refuse to allow his kiting to get a huge advantage for him. What I am able to do right here is, because his general is dead, I'm able to start a big chain route and move my guys up in a position to just get good shots at him, and he's going to route really quick. So that's kind of the deal. When you play a kiter, you have two options. You either A, decide to play their game with them, and to do that, you do what I did. You have to use your cav really well to fuck them up. And B, I really respect if you don't want to, dick around with the kiter, just adopt Tyler's strategy, which is to say, fuck you, I know how to kite too, and I kind of get that. And everybody just stop using this fucking tactic. It's fucking lame, and you're not going to get any respect, doing it. I mean, I know how to kite too. I could do it if I wanted, but I don't do it. I get in there and attack people, and that's kind of what I'm about. That's what my whole clan is about, and it's just fucking bullshit. So don't do it, and it's fucking lame. Anyway, I'll say GG to Ruse. Thanks for playing with dude. I love playing with you. And the two guys we played against, China Lake and Rain O Death. And GG again. Thanks for watching. Sorry for I was on vacation, but I had a great time. Las Vegas is awesome this time of year. You should check it out if you've never tried. But more information, twreplays.com. Bye.